Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Not Move Podcast. Pittsburgh still a pregame segment with my man, the Doll-Faced Gremlin. I am Coach Common. Hey, what you got for us today, Grem? Hey, listen, pardon the attire. Just came from my youth football league. I just came from my game on the sideline, so I ain't get a chance to change it to my Pittsburgh attire. But everybody knows I bleed black and yellow.
Well, it's me. It's me. It's the Dollface G. Of course, I want to show y'all. I just came back from Mr. Rogers' neighborhood. Just had
Yeah.
to go take a stroll after looking at that beautiful four-touchdown performance last week and walk through the streets and check everything out and just rejoice with the people as we celebrated another Steeler win last week. Coach,
Absolutely.
what are we looking at this week?
Well, I know. All right. Well, this week we're looking at the Seattle Seahawks, which they played San Fran strong last week. Okay,
Yeah,
they
they
they,
did.
they played them strong last week. Brock Purdy had a real good performance. Okay, what I mean, they had to cut. They had the ball fall their way. Couple calls go their way. So San Fran was able to sneak out there with the win. But listen, I got respect for Seattle. I see right now that they're not a pushover team. I'm not. I mean, it's our home opener. We usually shine in our home openers. However, a couple of things scare me, and I'll get right into it. Broderick Jones. I checked our updated depth chart. Broderick Jones is still our starting left tackle. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I mean, listen, after that performance against the Jets and how he single-handedly was responsible for at least 4 of those 6 sacks. One which was the one where he got beat on the inside. That Rodgers took a solid flush hit. We can't have that. We can't have that if we want to keep Rodgers upright for 17 games. We cannot have that. And them having Broderick Jones still in the lineup, that scares me. That's something, like I said, that's one of my beefs with Mike Tomlin, is that I feel as though he's a player's coach. You know what I mean? Because I'm gonna be honest, after that performance of last week, I don't give a damn. You're not starting this week. It's just me. You're not starting this week. I listen. I'm not even giving you reps in the Western until you show me something. You immediately, after that performance in my eyes, you immediately drop a spot on the depth chart. Immediately. Starting on Tuesday and we come to practice, I'm bringing the other guy in. Immediately. I'm not, listen, until you show me something, nah, immediately. How you feel about that?
I I'm not surprised Broderick Jones is going to get the nod again because they do fully believe in his ability at playing the left tackle position for some reason, even after that first week performance. And I agree with you. Tomlin's a player's coach. He's gonna adhere to what the player wants. He's gonna go more their direction. But uh, I being his third year now, and this is his first full season at left tackle. This is the first go around that they're really giving him. Not beating around the bush with putting someone in front of him and then starting him at right. I think give him this game, and because I think this game is going to be a truth teller game against Broderick Jones. This defense is better than the Jets defense, and
Absolutely.
it's not because they have all these flashy players. It's because this defense works in unison together. They have
As a
very
as a
good
cohesive
players.
unit.
Yeah, yeah. Like there are guys you can point out and be like, oh, well, he's great. He's great. He's great. But the defense works well. And you saw that last week against San Francisco. They held them. They put some hits on Brock Purdy. They hit Brock Purdy 8 times last week. Okay. And here's the thing about those 8 hits, 5 of them were from the defensive line.
Exactly.
So
Yes.
that's concerning, especially with Broderick Jones, and especially with what we saw happen last week. So yeah, I'm just as wary as you are. I'm not looking forward to it, and I think he's going to get the pressure. They're going to attack him.
Yeah, yeah. And see, and listen, this the thing. I'm gonna tell you this, like I'm gonna tell you right now. Any good coach that watched that film, they're attacking Jones this week. They're
Oh yeah,
attacking him. They're attacking him. I get listen, I'm willing to put money. I'm willing to put money that 2 out of 3 times they blitz from that side. I'm willing to put money on it. I'm willing to put money because what they did see was Frazier can handle the blitz.
Yep.
Right? They saw Frazier can handle the blitz. So they might be skeptical about throwing that A gap, right? But the way Broderick Jones played, I'm telling you right now, as a line coach, I'm watching that film coming into this week. No, I'm throwing everything at him, but matter of fact, and the kitchen sink. I'm throwing everything at him and the kitchen sink. I'm throwing stunts his way. I'm throwing twists his way, right? I'm sending delayed. I'm sending everything from his side. Because until you show me something, you're the weakest link on that line. So I'm going to attack the weakest link. And the scariest part about that being the weakest link is that it's Rodgers' blind side, dog. That's the scariest part. It's Rodgers' blind side. And listen, let me give a hand to Rodgers. Because because for those to be 40, he took a couple of solid hits last week, got up, kept poise, kept his composure, went to the sidelines, clapped his lineman up, even after the sacks. I even one time, if you watch, you know what I mean, if you go watch that game, even one time, is him and Broderick Jones having a one-on-one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So listen, all the stuff, all the deep-defined stuff they were saying Rodgers was doing in Green Bay, I haven't seen none of it yet in Pittsburgh. So I gotta give that up to Rodgers, right? And two, the toughness. He showed me some toughness. He showed me some toughness because, dog, he was getting beat up. And I'm being honest, I'm honest. He was getting beat up. Hats off to the Jets defense. Hats off to Aaron Glenn for sending those defensive schemes, causing trouble to my line. You know what I mean? I'm not taking nothing away from them. But
you can't.
But the thing is this: at the end of the day, the Jets were the losers of the game, and we got the W. So you know what I'm saying? So in that respect, I'm good. But I'm telling you, that Broderick Jones, he scares me, man. He has me terrified right now. I'm being honest. I'm just being honest.
Yeah, and the bad thing is the Seahawks did get a sack last week. It was only one, and obviously we know that without, as football people, the San Francisco 49ers offensive line is just better than the Steelers right now, right this moment. Okay?
Right.
And guess who got a lone sack for a safety? Okay? And that's not crapping all over the safety because like that I don't crap on any players in the NFL for doing a good job. That's just meaning they got 8 QB hits. 5 of them were from a defensive lineman, and one squeaked through to get that sack, and it happened to be a defensive back. That doesn't bode well for the Steelers, okay? Because Rodgers took not only did he take 4 sacks last week, right? He took 7 hits. Okay, so that doesn't bode well for him either. Their defensive linemen as a whole are better than the Jets. Faltanu, he has to take a little blame for the first sack last week as well, because if you notice, both he and Broderick Jones got pushed back. Okay, it was like they got both pushed back. But if you watch the rest of the game, Faltanu did a good job. He stepped back up. He made sure that
was
his
mistake. He learned from the mistake when he got beat, whereas though Broderick Jones kept consistently making the same mistake. See, that's what scares me about him. See, when you got beat on the inside, right? When he got beat on the inside,
it was awful.
And when he got beat on the inside, and what's the name took that solid hit, right? When he took that solid hit, okay, he took that solid hit because you stepped out and his hips were almost parallel to the sideline. So now once your hips are parallel to the sideline, you automatically give up inside leverage, okay? Automatically, right? Because your hips aren't square, so you can't step down. So with him, he consistently kept doing that. Graham, he consistently kept stepping out and turning like this towards the sideline to his man instead of just dropping straight back, keeping his hips square. So if he takes the inside, he can step down. If you want to keep going around, I'll just keep going backwards. You're taking yourself out the play. Cool.
Yeah.
I don't care. You're taking yourself out the play. Because we all know that the defensive end determines the depth of which the tackle kick steps, right? He did it. The edge rusher determines that depth. If he
Yeah.
keeps going, if that edge rusher keeps going upfield, you just keep going back. You just keep going back. If he wants to run all the way up to the other end zone, fine. He took himself out the play. You see what I'm saying? He made your job easier. But
Yep.
once you do that, once you initiate your kick steps and you turn your hips parallel to the sideline, if he gives you that jab step and goes inside, there's nothing you can do, as we saw happen when Rodgers took that solid hit. So
Yeah.
hands up, so clap up for Patano for learning from his mistake and addressing it with himself. He addressed it himself. He knew what he did wrong, addressed it himself, made sure it didn't happen again. And a thumb down and a boo to Broderick Jones for you not realizing what you were doing. Okay, for you not being, you're not, he's not coaching himself on the field. He's not learning his opponent. You see what I'm saying? You got to learn your opponent and coach yourself on the field. And this is what he's not doing. And I'm telling you, listen, he scares me, dog. As long as I see 77 in the game, I'm going to be nervous until he shows me different. Now, if he can show me that he learned from last week and he's solid this week, I'll woosah. But until then, nah, dog, you got my chin getting whiter. Listen, you got my chin getting more and more salt, lot less pepper. More salt and a lot less pepper.
Yeah, I went to the barber today and got a fresh, clean cut, and of course they had to point out all the salt mixed in with my pepper up there. And I had to tell them last week's game caused a few of them myself. The pressure that's going to come from Seattle is they forced 2 turnovers last year. Last game they forced 2 turnovers, and 2 interceptions, one from the linebacker Jones and then from DB Josh Jobe. If that happens again, Rodgers is more protective of the ball than Sam Darnold. I think we all realize that Rodgers protects the ball and makes wise choices when he needs to throw away or throw a tight window. Darnold makes more mistakes, of course. With Darnold getting pressure, we've seen throughout his career when he gets pressure, Sam Darnold makes mistakes. He gets rattled easily. But that's not the case with Rodgers. So the 2 interceptions forced last week on Sam Darnold, I can see that. Hopefully the Steelers defense does that. We'll talk about that later. But with them coming on Rodgers, he's going to have some pressure on him. I think a lot more, hopefully not, but a lot more against his D. And he's going to have to make some better decisions, even though last week, if you noticed, he was getting that ball out pretty quick, even with all the hits.
But you know what I'm anticipating this week from the Steelers? I'm anticipating a way better run performance. I'm anticipating a way better run. I'm anticipating them working on their run blocking, on their communication, on them getting to their spots, right? And that's what I want to see more communication on the line. You know what I'm saying? I want to see these guys. I want to think you're arguing with each other. You guys are communicating so much. Mm-hmm. I want to hear, I got to hear your video. No, listen, on the stuff that listen, I want to see hands. I want to tap, him, listen, you got. I need to see all that. I need to see all that communication. I need to see all that.
The only one I see doing that is Frazier.
And he shouldn't be. No, listen. As the center, he's the captain of the team. He's the captain of the line. He has to. But no, he has to. I need to see it from the other 4 guys.
Yeah,
I need to see the other 4 guys doing the same shit, doing the exact same thing. I can't just have this one guy communicating, right? I need everybody to talk up. Listen, a line is how I explain it to my players when I coach them. This is your line of scrimmage, right? Is a head, tackle, guard, center, guard, tackle. Individually, you're weak. You can be broken, right? Individually. But when you come together as a cohesive unit and work as one, you can deliver that blow. You become that wall. That's what I need our line to be. That's what I need my line to strive for. To go from this to this.
Yeah.
That's what I need them to do. And I didn't see that last week. I saw, be honest with you, this is what I saw last week. This is what I saw. No, this is what I saw. And you see that one week, that one weakness,
77.
that one weakness makes all these other ones weak. It leaves a hole. It leaves a hole in all these ones. Because now you got this guy, and he knows he keeps getting beat. Now he's worried about helping him out instead of doing his own job. So now he's thinking about two things instead of the one thing. He's thinking about two assignments instead of his assignment, right? He's thinking about, can this guy hold his assignment? Well, if I get my assignment, can I release my assignment and help this guy? Like, you understand what I'm saying? I don't want my lineman thinking like that. I want my lineman thinking, he got his man, let me concentrate on my man. You know what I mean? He got his assignment, let me concentrate on my assignment.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I need from my line. I need my Villanueva, my Marquise Pouncey, you know what I mean? My Foster, my Stazek. I need that back.
We need our boys back.
Because listen, what a lot of people don't know is, and Ben even said it before, his line caught a lot of flack for him holding the ball. They gave him over 3 seconds in the pocket. He just would hold the ball trying to make a big play. And he came out and said that. So I need that line to go back to that. I need my line to be cohesive. Hey, yo, listen, I want everybody to say, everybody, put your fingers crossed. Mike Munchak, we need you back, baby. Come back. Mike Munchak, we need you back, baby. Everybody, use your Jedi mind tricks. Everybody, telekinesis. Let's call Mike back. Let's get Mike Munchak back as our offensive line coach. That's what I need. That's what I need. I'll use the force. Use the force. Pray. I don't care what you got to do. Go outside, do a rain check, do a rain dance. I don't care. But somebody go find Mike Munchak's number and call him. Tell him 911. Page him. I don't care what you got to do. Smoke signals. I don't care what. I need Mike Munchak back as my offensive line coach.
Yeah, we need to do something. And speaking of offensive line and offensive moves, I think we need to touch on the injuries for this week, Coach. There's some big injuries for the Steelers, especially on defense. We got 3 guys out on defense. Still, Harmon. Harmon is still out this week. As of right now, he's ruled out.
We knew that. We knew that.
We knew that, but Elliott's out, which we knew when Peppers got signed, which everybody saw that big signing happen. But Joey Porter Jr.'s out. So it seems like, as of right now, he has been announced as out. That was 2 hours ago. If any updated reports come through, please drop them in the chat.
Graham, do you know what his injury is? Because they didn't even specify.
So right now, he suffered a hamstring injury,
which could hinder him the whole damn season.
Yeah, so that's not looking too good for the defense right now. So we're probably going to see a lot more of Ramsey one-on-one coverage now, instead of Joey Porter Jr. filling in some of those spots.
Yo, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that against Seattle. I'm okay with that against Seattle because I'm okay with that against Seattle, being as though Sam Darnold is the quarterback. I'm not taking one away from Sam, but dog,
no,
you make a lot of mental decision mistakes. And as far as their receiver, what's his name? Ibuka? How you that say
Smith? Right? Smith Jigba. It has an N and Jigba, I think is how they pronounce it. But it's number 11 Smith and Jigba. He tore it up last week, Coach. Even with the focus on him, that guy got basically 80 to 90% of the total offensive yards. He ended up starting the game. He ended up ending the game with 9 receptions. And he had 124 yards. Now, he didn't get a touchdown, any of that. Now, here's the saving grace for the Steelers. He had 2 fumbles, and one of those was lost. And guess what we got? We got a fumble-making machine in Jalen Ramsey when he hits someone pretty hard.
And Peppers, he catch you coming across that middle. Yep. Gives you a solid hit. Peppers, listen, I saw a thing today. Steeler fan put it up. They said the Pittsburgh Steelers, with the addition of Jabril Peppers, and then got Ramsey. They said the Pittsburgh Steelers is now the hoodest team in the NFL.
Well, you know what? I'm okay with it because I know those guys are going to hit somebody. They're going to do some damage to
And
somebody.
that's Steeler football. That's Steeler football.
Yes, it
Intimidation.
is.
That's Steeler football. Intimidation. Intimidation. I
Yeah.
remember at one point in time, remember back in the day with Bill Cowher? People did not want to come to Three Rivers Stadium and play the Steelers, period.
No,
Period.
sir.
Because, dog, listen, I don't know the numbers like that, but Bill Cowher was outstanding at home. That defense was outstanding at home. At home, they put foot to ass. I'm
Yeah.
going old school, not belt to ass. They put foot to ass back in the day.
They did.
And I need that same foot to ass. I need that. And see, here's the thing about that. I don't like Ramsey. He still hasn't won me over. I like the big hit. I like the big plays, but you still ain't won me over yet, right? You still have not won me over yet.
That was one quarter.
However, you do bring that Pittsburgh attitude. I do like your attitude. That Steeler attitude. I do like the attitude. That Steeler attitude. So,
I do.
So I will say that. I will say I do like the Steeler attitude. But I want to see more too, Coach. I mean, Graham, I want to see more. I want to see more Caleb Johnson in the backfield and not as my returner. I know you want to touch on that.
I don't understand why Arthur Smith doesn't like Caleb Johnson right now. I don't know if it's something in practice. I don't know if it's because Gainwell had one nice run last week or what it is, but they still have Caleb Johnson as the third running back on the depth chart, and they still have him returning punts, returning kicks. That is not where this man belongs. Gainwell belongs back there more than Caleb Johnson right now.
Or Austin. Him or
Austin. And well, here's the thing. I think they're moving on from Austin in that return capacity because they want to use him more of a second and third receiver with this core that we have right now, which, people can make their comments as they may as far as how he goes as a second receiver for the team. He did a good job last week. And as far as long as he keeps playing that well, if he plays that well and makes those type of catches, I'm fine with him being.
You know what else too? I wouldn't mind. Listen, I know we haven't seen him, but I wouldn't mind you throwing Roman Wilson back there to return to see what he can do. I mean, you're not throwing him the ball because he was absent on last Sunday. You're not throwing him the ball, so let's see what he can do at least on the return tip then. If you're not going to put him in the game plan on the offense,
got to do something with him because I mean I don't know if it's the scheming or what, but he's virtually invisible. I
was looking for number 10. I was looking for him.
And we didn't see him at all. I don't understand it. It's that number hasn't been relevant really since Cordell, I guess. Martavis put a little stink on it, and now we got Roman in it. And I guess Roman decided to just disappear last week, or the scheme for him to, the formations for him disappeared. But if his name's not getting brought up in any capacity, that tells me a lot more about him and how he's playing. I don't know what to expect from him. I want him to be involved in the passing game because we need somebody else to be out there besides relying on Jonnu Smith and DK Metcalf the whole game.
I will say Freiermuth and Jonnu did play decent last week. I give props where props is due. They did play solid. They did.
And that's also kind of an indictment on the receivers, isn't it?
Right.
It shows that maybe, we should have invested more on a secondary receiver instead of focusing all on tight end work. Maybe we should have dropped Cam Hayward's mascot brother from the team instead of holding a roster spot for him and signing another receiver, instead of catering to someone that.
I think keeping his brother is part of his contract.
It has to be at this point. It's like the J.J. Watt, Derek Watt, or TJ Watt, Derek Watt year. They must have negotiated something in there. Like, listen, my brother needs a job real quick. Can he just stay for a couple years? We'll get him out after.
Still on our practice squad?
I don't know. I don't know who's on practice squad anymore.
Yeah, I haven't checked, but I think he's still on the practice squad.
Well, they should have sent Cam Hayward's brother down there because maybe that could open up that another receiver slot that we need.
You know what though? Here's the thing. They can keep him on the roster spot, Grum, But they gotta use him if you're going to keep him. They don't
They
even
got to
use
do
him as a
something.
lead. They don't even use him as a lead blocker, and
No.
he's on the roster as fullback / tight end. So if you're
Yeah.
going to put him on the roster as fullback / tight end, then use him. Use
Yeah.
him as that. Listen, put him in motion, right? Put him in motion. You can go single back. We can go single back. Go to the 12-man set, right? Have 2 on one side. Put Hayward in motion. You know what I'm saying? Pitch it to Warren, and let Hayward be his lead blocker while he's
And
already moving.
and here's the concerning part about that is they don't even consider him, and that speaks volumes to what they think about him as a player.
He doesn't come in the game.
Not at all. Not at all. There's no reason for him to put his helmet on.
They don't even listen. Listen. Every team, I think, and especially us, dog, our jumbo package used to be a guaranteed short yardage game. I never used to worry about 31s, 32s. Dog,
No.
we throw that jumbo package in there. Back in the
It's
day,
questionable.
when we had John L. Williams, Barry Foster, and Eric Green, and we would line them all up, have Eric Green on the wing, have John L. Williams in the backfield in front, have Barry Foster as the tailback. No, I wasn't worried about no 31. You wasn't stopping them. You wasn't stopping that. We were
No.
getting 31, 32. So why can't we do the same thing with big ass Washington, Hayward as the fullback, and Warren and Warren back? Because listen, behind Hayward and Washington, Warren can get lost. He can run behind them and then
Exactly.
find the seam and break.
Exactly.
And they're not using them. Him
No.
or Gainwell. Could you imagine Gainwell behind Hayward and Washington? You can't
Any
even
of the
see
running
him.
backs, all
You
three
can't
of
even
them.
see him.
All three of them would be covered. Mount Washington would have the shadow looming strong while he's taking that block. It's just another reason that you and I can safely say this, and the whole world can hear us. We don't like Coach Tomlin for these type of reasons. This is ultimately a decision that falls on him. That's just all there is to it.
Yo, these are the little niches, the little things, the intent. Listen, I can't say this enough. Chuck Noll, rest in peace, love you, my brother. Champions don't do nothing extraordinary. They do the ordinary things better than everybody else. And one ordinary thing a champion is going to do is take advantage of the little guy.
Yeah.
So if I have a 6'3", 260-pound fullback, and then I have a 6'8", 6'9", 260-pound fucking tight end, I'm going to use them.
Yeah, it's super frustrating. It's super frustrating. But the offense, I think they're going to find some room in the passing game this week. Yeah, the Jets had 2 interceptions, but I think now they're hopefully going to use the tight ends more this week. I'm hoping Art Smith uses the tight ends more for the passing part this week.
But see, my whole thing is this: you wanted a Jonnu. We made that trade with Ramsey, and we put a Jonnu in that package because you requested that. You requested Jonnu. You requested him. Since you requested him, Arthur, I need you to use him. You requested him.
He did good last week, right? He used them a few plays just great last week. Now, let's
see more.
Let's see. Yes, let's see more. Let's get more.
Here's my thing. This is my thing, Grim. When a coach requests a player, I expect to see that player used. And I don't mean 1 or 2 times. I expect you to have actual plays that he's the hot route. He's the man. You requested Jonnu. You requested that we get him in that package, Arthur. That was under your request. When they made that trade, that was under an Arthur Smith request to bring Jonnu. So I need you to use him. You asked for him, use him.
Yep. And I think, Coach, I think we got some news that we should talk about. With the Not Move podcast, of course, you can get 125% extra towards your first three deposits at Bet USA.
Yeah, bet us at Bet
Bet
Us. Yes,
us. And the
yes, yes,
link is in
yes.
our bio on YouTube. How awesome is that?
Yo, listen, all they got to do is subscribe. All they got to do is subscribe. Go to Not Move. The link is right there. Bet us. You get 125%. Look, read my lips. 125% is what they
Legit,
are giving
folks.
you off your bet, man. So listen. So let's go subscribe. Go to YouTube. Subscribe to Not Move. Because listen, we not moved. We're not going nowhere. We're
Nope.
going to be there. So listen to me. Go subscribe. Go subscribe. Get Bet Us. Because check this out. You know, I took advantage of it. Put my ticket in. I'm putting my ticket in over there this week.
Oh yeah, and you know what I'm going to put that towards because it's the first three deposits. Like we said, 125% extra. Bet US. First three deposits. You're going to get some extra towards good bets like, I'm feeling Aaron Rodgers is going to throw a touchdown in the first half this week. I don't know, I'm
yo,
feeling frisky.
yo. And I'm also feeling, listen to me. I'm feeling that it might be a hot take. It might be a hot take. I'm feeling Jalen Warren 100 yards and an
All
anytime
right.
touchdown. Listen to me. I'm just saying. Jalen Warren, anytime touchdown. He came through for me last week. Listen. One thing about Warren, and this is what I love about Warren, and this is what I've always loved about Warren. He takes complete advantage of
Yep.
every opportunity he gets on the field. He
Yeah, he
doesn't
does.
whine. He doesn't whine. He doesn't cry about getting the
Nope.
ball, playing time. His whole thing is, I don't care about how many opportunities I get. I'm gonna take full advantage of the opportunities that I do get, and he does that. And listen to
Yeah.
me. Listen to me. I don't know what Jalen Warren's over under is this week, and I know we do use a two back set with him and Gainwell, but I'm telling y'all,
Yeah.
go this week. I'm just saying, Warren, take over his running, and an anytime touchdown. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
And before we go, Coach, I got to talk. We do need to touch on our defense a little bit.
Oh, absolutely. Oh
Um,
no, absolutely. That
yeah,
was
I
next. That was
I
next.
really have to
I'm
talk about.
yeah. I want you to get on that. I want you to
I'm
start it
really
off.
I'm really upset that it's been 10 games since we've seen a TJ Watt sack. It has been 10 games since that man has taken a quarterback down for a sack. And we saw, I'm not going to bash his performance last week because I thought he did pretty well. You and I both,
They did scheme away from him. They
they
do.
did.
Listen,
Yeah.
listen. I'm not saying that TJ did not do his job. I'm not saying that. Okay, they
Yeah.
scheme teams double Cam Hayward. See, people don't understand.
Yeah.
See, I've been telling people for years. Cam Hayward, the reason TJ be shining like he does is because of 97.
That interior.
But people who don't really watch or know football don't see that. Okay, y'all don't understand that Cam Hayward quietly has been a top 5 defensive tackle his whole fucking career. All right,
Yes.
that's something that only people who know football actually watch the game of football. Don't just look at the screen; they're actually watching the game. You know what I'm saying? That would know. Okay, Cam Hayward has been a top 5 defensive tackle his whole career. He has 5. He has, I believe, yeah, he has a total. I think 5 All Pros. No, 6 All Pros. Three of them. Sorry, if you hear my granddaughter in the background, she's having a little fit. Apologize, but he has five All Pros, right? 4 of them are first team.
Yeah.
4. No, I'm
4 of
sorry.
them.
6, I believe it's 7. He already had 5, and he had 3 first teams. And I think last year made his 4th first team. if I'm not
Yes, it did.
mistaken.
You're
Yeah, last
absolutely
year,
right. Yep.
and that was at 35 years old. That was at 35 years old. Now,
Yeah.
y'all do understand what all pro means. Not Pro Bowl, all pro. That means he's the best defensive tackle in the league.
Yep. Number one.
That means he's number one. He made first team all pro. That means he is number one. Okay? Now, he has been in the running. He has been in the running his whole career. But he had to go up, Chris Jones, Aaron Donald. He had other guys that,
Yeah.
listen, I'm just saying these guys are beasts. Okay.
They're
So,
beasts. Yeah.
Myles Garrett, these are all defensive linemen that, might have took an all pro from him because of their performances. But he has been a top 5 defensive lineman his entire career. It ain't just been once or twice. His entire career. The man has 88, 89 sacks from the interior.
Yeah.
From the interior.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah.
Okay.
It's impressive.
So listen, what I need TJ to help Cam. I need Cam to help TJ. I need y'all to work I need y'all to work as a unit. Dog, I understand they're scheming away from you, TJ. I understand that. I don't care, dog. We just gave you $42 million a year, dog. I need you to make the play. I need you to make the play.
And
I'm
also,
sorry,
if
TJ,
you
I need you to make the
remember,
play.
if you remember what TJ said when he signed that extension, he was willing to move sides, switch sides when it's needed, willing to fit with the scheme. So if that's the case, we need to see him attack the right side of that offensive line of the Seahawks. Bradford and that rookie Sundell, they need to get hit. They were weak last week against the Niners. They need to be weak again this week. We need to scheme against that side if we're going to touch
what I
the
want to
quarterback.
see? You know what I want to see, Grim? I want to see the defense come to the line of scrimmage, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want to see the defense come to the line of scrimmage. And as Darnold is walking up under center, I need y'all to switch. I need y'all to switch. I need you know what I'm saying? I need you and Heisman switch. 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 Real fast. I need y'all to switch. Listen, I remember when I played. I don't know, it was the old leapfrog drill where the guy would roll underneath you and you would leap over top of him and switch positions, right? You don't really see that no more. But that's something that I need y'all to see. At one time, you got Cam right here in the 3, right? You got Cam in the 3 on the right side, on the left side. Hey, right before the ball is, as the quarterback is walking up to under center, I need him and Benton. Switch. You go on the left. Put Ben on the right real quick. Switch. Cause some confusion. Do something. Football is chess. It's not checkers. And right now, Austin Terrell and Arthur Smith are playing checkers, and I do not like it. They're playing checkers. And we can't win.
Right.
We can't win with you playing checkers. I need you to play chess.
No, and what I don't like, I think you described it perfectly. Like if they can start incorporating moving switches right away as soon as Darnold's walking up, I don't think Darnold, I think, had a great season last year under a very favorable coordinator and being under a good team with the Vikings. So I think this is going to really show how we can scheme against him to force him to make those errors like he did last week. He started feeling the pressure. He lost the fumble last week.
Right.
That's what the Steelers defense needs to do. They need to force the turnovers on him.
But see, here's the thing, right? As an offensive coordinator, I'm looking at the defense, right? I'm watching the defense, right? I'm watching the defense. I'm seeing what the defense is doing to set up my next play, right? I'm seeing what the defense is doing. All right, so now if I see on first and second down, TJ and Cam are on the right, right? They're on the left, right? I see, okay? They're lined up. Now, okay, so now I call a play to go to the right side. You know what I mean? Let's say it's 30 short. I call a play to go to the right side real quick. Dog, out of nowhere, Cam goes from the 3 to the 1, right? Cam goes from the 3 to the 1. TJ goes from the 6 technique on the right side, on the left side. Him and Highsmith switch. Now he's on the 6 on the left side. I mean, you know what I'm saying? On the other side of the field. All right. And now this is after you already called the play. Now let me see if Sam Darnold is good enough to call an audible to get out of this. Like challenge them. Challenge the coordinator.
Yeah.
Challenge them. Do
Yeah.
something to make them think. Stop being so one-dimensional and so predictable. Right now, I can tell you exactly the defense that we're going to have tomorrow, unless I going off of history and habit. I can tell you right now what kind of defense we're going to have. It's going to be limited stunts. It's going to be blitzes. It's going to be blitzes. They'll blitz. Listen, they'll run blitz on first down, zone blitz on third down, right?
Yeah.
Second down, there might be a stunt. I don't even see Wilson and what's the name doing no linebacker twist. I don't even see that no more.
Well,
what happened to the twist? We used to twist the hell out of our linebackers.
True, and those two were some bad marks on us last week. The secondary blocking for the Jets really killed Queen and Wilson. They got beat plenty of times. And as much as Wilson is very good on pass coverage, he can go side to side. He's a quick linebacker. He got beat as soon as they came up. They got knocked on their butts.
And because of his size, he has to use technique and speed. Because dog, you are not getting off a pulling guard. You are not getting off a pulling guard block. You're too little.
Yep.
I'm called like I said. You're too little. You're not getting off that block.
Not at all.
If that guard comes out there and puts hands on him, that play is over for you. You're not getting off that block, right? So what you got to do is you have to read, okay? Read, if anything, by anything, just meet the pulling guard in the hole. Just fill the hole. Don't wait for him to come to you. Attack the hole. You see where he's going? Attack him. Don't wait for him to come upfield and hit you. No, you smack that guard right there at the hole. Because when you smack that guard right there at the hole, what does the running back do? His feet stop.
Yep.
He's now going east to west now instead of north to south. East to west is a way better. East to west, I trust my team better east to west than you coming downhill. Because east to west, we're faster. I know we can cover and contain. I know that. And I'm telling you right now, I better not see Darius Slay one-on-one with nobody.
No, not after last week. Not after last week. That's something I was going to bring up with, Joey Porter Jr. out. They better throw Ramsey on Smith and Jigba. That better be the cover guy for him, because if it's anything like last week, they throw Slay on him. Slay is going to get beat over and over again.
At minimum, play cover 2. Make sure you got somebody underneath and over the top. Because listen, I know Peppers is not a best cover, but if I got him over the top, I'm in that wide receiver's head about catching that ball.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? If I got him over that top, no, they don't listen. Don't nobody want to run a post route. Pittsburgh's in cover 2. You run a post route with Peppers back here, and you got to turn like this and look for that ball.
No, thank you. No, sir.
You see what I'm saying?
Sir.
You feel me? So I need them. And see, this is what gets me so upset, Gremlin. I'm a landscaper, okay? You're a hard-working blue-collar man, right? We don't get paid hundreds of thousands of dollars for this. How is it that we see this shit? And the coaches that are getting paid hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars don't see this shit.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's confounding as to why. If you notice, they didn't even remove Slay from that number 1 coverage last week too in the second half. They really didn't move him around off that at all. That was what also made me upset about Teryl Austin's and ultimately Mike Tomlin, because it comes down to Mike Tomlin too, because as we have heard in the past from players, personnel, he's ultimately the one that sometimes overrides defensive calls and's like, nah, we're going to go with this. We're going to leave this guy here. We're going to leave this position player here. So we have to see Slay not in a one-on-one with the top guy, Smith and Jigba, this week because he will get burned. And also, we got to be careful of the run. These two running backs are better than Hall last week, and
Dog.
they're better running backs.
Charbonnet has great vision. And what people don't understand about Charbonnet is Charbonnet knows how and as people I get in debates like this all the time. He reminds me of Emmitt Smith in one fashion. He knows how to set his blocks up. His vision is of that he's able to set his blocks up. You see what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
like I said, I was going over the running game earlier, watching footage with Merrill Hodge breaking it down, right? These guys use 3 tight end sets. These guys have 3 tight end sets. And one thing even Merrill Hodge pointed out, everybody on Seattle, they don't have a big line. They have a very fast line, right?
Yeah.
And that fast athletic line, you know what they're able to do? Get to their spot so that they're in between the defender and the ball. They ain't got to pancake you.
No.
Listen, see what people understand about blocking. I don't have to pancake you.
No.
If I put my body in between you and if I put my body between the runner and the defender, that is a block. That's a block.
Yeah.
Period. I ain't got to pancake you. If I'm like this, if I'm pulling and I'm running like this, defender's right here, and I'm running like this the whole time, I ain't even put my hand on the defender. I ain't even touch it.
Yeah.
But he's here, I'm here, and the running back's able to read my hips and go off of my ass. Guess what? I just blocked him. And that's what Seattle does. Seattle gets to the spot to where as though they put themselves between the defender and the ball. And that's all you ask of a lineman. I don't gotta see pancakes. I don't gotta see the other guy's feet in the air. I don't need all that. I just need you to get between the defender and the ball. And that's what they do. So I need to see twists, stunts. I need to see movement. I need to see the linebackers attacking. One thing I didn't like, and I don't know if you noticed it, I think Queen is playing way too far off the ball.
Yeah, and that's going to be a problem too because like they may want to take some tips from San Francisco's defense against this offense last week. You know, as much as Charbonnet is, I agree with you. I think he's a vision runner, right? He can see the holes being formed, and he can have that patience to wait, and he can have that patience for his line to make those blocks for him. Walker's no joke either. Walker the third is a pretty good runner, and they just didn't use him last week a lot. Like they only combined for 67 yards total, both of them. Okay. But where Charbonnet is going to be dangerous is they can use him out of the backfield as a receiver a lot better than Walker the third. And one thing that they're going to have to look for is that use. I think I honestly, personally, I'm probably going to be wrong, but I think they're going to run Walker the third more this week. I think they're going to run him a little bit more and split that time and use Charbonnet as more of that versatility back than they did last week.
Right. They'll try to establish the run with Walker, right? They'll try to establish the run with Walker. If they can establish the run with Walker, now you put Charbonnet in there, right? Understand that Charbonnet is a better vision guy than Walker, right? He has better vision. So if I establish the run with Walker, I bring Charbonnet in for play action. Now he sneaks out into the flat, check it down to him, or he might even be the hot route or whatever. Give it to him. Charbonnet in space, like I said, he knows how to set his blocks up. His vision, he knows how to set his blocks up. That can hurt us. I think we have to be aggressive. Listen, I want to go back. Dom Capers said it best, y'all. This is Blitzburg. We live by the blitz, we die by the blitz, dog. We live by the blitz. When Dom Capers was there, he'd tell you quick, Yeah,
Yep.
I blitz. We're going to blitz you. Sometimes it's going to work. Sometimes it ain't. But make no mistake, we're blitzing you. And I don't see that from Terrell. I don't see that from Terrell. I need to
No.
see, because like last week, they never, and that's one thing that had me mad. They did not try to make, what's the name? They tried to just get pressure with 4. And when we weren't getting pressure with 4 and allowing Justin Fields to sit in the pocket and then pick lanes to run, no. I
No.
need y'all, listen, I need y'all to blitz. I need y'all to blitz doing twists. Remember the Dick LeBeau, Dick LeBeau twist, you know what I mean, on the delayed blitzes and even the run and like even when we went against a mobile quarterback, they would do that twist and one linebacker would blitz, the other one would stay back and spy just in case he found a lane. And dog, you
Yes.
still couldn't go nowhere. Like, listen, why are we not using these play like we saw? Listen, football ain't changed. It ain't changed. Why
Yeah,
are
but
we
the
not
coaches
using these
have.
books? Listen, we got all these pages of history of dominant defense. Why are we not using any of them?
Well, I think you and I know the answer, and it's ego. And I think that that's the answer as to why it's. Remember, the standard is the standard, and that never became a saying until one person came to this football club and
And he
started
does,
coaching it.
and he ain't lived up to the standard of the Pittsburgh Steelers in years. He ain't lived up to the standard that he said the standard is the standard. Well, the standard that Pittsburgh Steelers are used to, brothers like myself, grumbling, old time Steeler fans, you know what we're used to? We're used to having a 53-man roster that can actually compete to
Yep.
represent the AFC in the Super Bowl. I ain't had that in years. So I need you to stop saying the standard is the standard, and I need you to start, and I need to see action. I've said it before. We're not judged on the words we speak. We're judged on our actions.
You're right about that. And with that, coach, I think this week, I think the Steelers are going to win. I think it's going to be an ugly game, but I think that if the Steelers go into the first half winning only by 3 points, they're going to lose the game. And I don't like saying that. It just means that it's an ugly dogfight that typically doesn't go their way when they're up ahead by 3 points and they end up losing in the second half. I'm hoping the Steelers, though, get Sam Darnold, lock him in, make him make mistakes, slow down that run game, even though we have no evidence they can so far. And I'm hoping the Steelers pull this one out. I think they're going to end up winning 27-18.
Okay. Now, I'm looking for, I see my defense bouncing back this week, right? I see my defense bouncing back, right? Because I feel as though they were embarrassed. They were embarrassed by
Yes.
the Jets. I feel
Yes,
as though
sir.
they felt embarrassed, right? So I feel as though they're going to come out nose to the grindstone, pin their ears back, dog. I see them I see 24-10 Pittsburgh, right? And I see the Seattle Seahawks as a team, no more than 120 yards rushing. I no more as a team. I'm talking about end around sweeps, Charbonnet, Walker. I'm talking about as a whole team. I see them just cracking 100 yards if they crack 100 yards. I think this week. I think that I think our line. Dog, they were thoroughly embarrassed. They were
Yep.
thoroughly embarrassed. And
Yep.
one thing I do know, Cam Hayward is a very, very, very proud person.
Yes, he
And
is.
the one thing I know he ain't like was Brees Hall running up and down the field on us.
No.
so
No.
so I see us covering the point spread. I see us covering the point spread. I think we're -3, if I'm not mistaken. So I see us covering the point spread. I see us winning 24-10 or at the home over. You know, this is Mr. Rogers coming out on the block, his first day in Mr. Rogers' neighborhood, right?
That's
He's making
right.
his debut in Mr. Rogers' neighborhood. He's gonna have the pleasure of wearing the black jerseys. You know how we get down when we're in the black and yellow. So he's gonna have the home jersey on, and we're gonna in 24-10, Rodgers with three touchdowns, and my boy Boswell puts in a 50-yarder somewhere sometime during the day. You know how he does. And to let everybody know, we have Chris Boswell is 24/7 protected in a RV, in a armored Hummer. In a armored Hummer, they got big caliber protecting him, and he walks around in a bubble. So Chris Boswell, Boswell is okay and will remain okay. We protect Chris Boswell like our life depending on it. Because right now, as of today, Chris Boswell is our number one offensive fucking weapon.
You know what? That's a pretty good weapon to have. A kicker with a cannon on that leg, right?
Yo, did you see, before we go, did you see the meme, A Christmas Story with the lamp leg?
With Boswell's leg.
Yeah, they said that's Boswell's leg.
I couldn't agree more. I could not agree more. And here's the funny part about him. Remember in his first and second year when they were like really on the cusp of possibly getting rid of him? And it was just because of a couple bad kicks. And then he just went into just beast mode. He's like laser focus.
Well, no, listen.
Love it.
You know what he thinks about, right? You know what he thinks about? They were in practice one time, and James Harrison stood over the long snapper and told him exact words: "If you miss this kick, I'm gonna fuck you up." And they were in practice. He said, "Listen, Chris Boswell, the one that told this story. He told on the podcast. He says, out of nowhere, he's kicking, and James Harrison just goes and stands in front of the long snapper and put his hands behind his back, and with that James Harrison stare, says, 'You missed this kick, I'm gonna fuck you up.'" And Chris Boswell says he sees James Harrison standing over the center, saying that he's going to fuck him up. In his head, James Harrison is waiting for him in the locker room every time he goes to kick the ball.
And you see, that man, Chris Boswell, right there, is a smart man because unlike him, apparently Chad Johnson wants to get Debo's hands, but that's a topic for another day. We'll let that go for another day.
You know what? We're going to do that on the bye week. We just have a little update. We're going to talk about that.
And I tell you what, when those hands finally happen, we're going to go to Bet Us and use our 125% extra towards our 3 first deposits.
Absolutely, when they do get down, I'm taking the odds on Bet Us. I'm going to Bet Us, and I'm taking the odds. But with no further ado, we're going to wrap it up and get out of here, okay? To my boy, shout out, Downface Gremlin. I'm Coach Common. Not Move Podcast, baby. I'm 6'4", 280 pounds. I don't move so easy. Not Move Podcast. Lock in or get locked out. Strap up and wrap up what you don't want broke up, baby. It's football. Peace.
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. A beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Won't you be mine?